everyone to our Cacia virtual class this evening. My name is Betsy. I'm one of the aromatherapists with Cacia. Tonight's class, we're going to be focusing on this idea of using essential oils to create a sanctuary in our home by really how we can manipulate the airspace with aroma. This idea of our home being a safe haven for escape from the world or just coming up for a breath of fresh air, right? That is infused with essential oils that can really change the way we feel about our home, about our day. And I'm going to talk about how we can use them in different rooms to kind of create different vibes through our airspace. But just a little bit about myself to get started. I've been with Cacia for about 7 or 8 years now. So my background is in herbal medicine. I'm a clinical herbalist in the DC area. I live in Northern Virginia, and I've been doing aromatherapy education with Cacia for quite a while now because I love all things plants. So whether or not we're talking herbal teas or essential oils, anything related to plants is truly my passion in life. So I'm really happy that you all are joining me this evening so that we can just spend the next half hour or so talking about one aspect of plants, which is essential oils. So Cacia, we are part of Frontier Co-op. Not a lot of people know that. I like to say that Frontier is like our mothership. And then under Frontier, we have Cacia, where we have our wonderful essential oils and mists and carrier oils like almond and jojoba. We also have Simply Organic, and Simply Organic makes spice mixes. Like if you've ever tried the taco simmer sauce is amazing. I also love the enchilada simmer sauces. I actually made a really awesome casserole this evening with the taco seasoning on some ground turkey and sauteed vegetables, and then enchilada sauce and corn tortillas. Even my toddler gobbled it up, and he's usually really picky. So that's Simply Organic. And then we also have Plant Boss, which does meat-free, meat-like products. So we have a lot of awesome companies that are part of our Frontier family. So if you've never checked out the other ones, give them a look and kind of see who we are, because it speaks a lot to our values at Cacia that we are a part of a member-owned co-op. At Cacia, we're plant people and we take plants very seriously, which means that we put a lot of time and effort into how we source the plants for our essential oils, how we produce our essential oils, how we test them for purity to make sure that the only thing in this little bottle of sweet orange essential oil is sweet orange essential oil. No pesticides, no herbicides, no adulterants to make it smell differently. So we've been a leader in the botanical industry, the essential oil industry, for quality and purity for over 40 years now. And it's something that we are so proud of, and being a co-op really embodies that value. Okay, so that's a little bit about Cacia and who we are and who I am. Let's go ahead and get started. So the first recipe that I have for us this evening is our sandalwood and lemon diffusion. I actually have it going in the background here. This is one of our new diffusers, and I love it because it changes color. It's so much fun. It's, I get enjoyment out of the little things. You can also, if you have a color that you like best, you can leave it at whatever color you like best. I really like, wait, where'd it go? Oh, I skipped over it. Come back. I really like that one, like the lavender purple one. That one's my favorite. That's my color. So the sandalwood lemon diffusion, this is one that I love for my main living space, or where I spend most of the time of my day. So I work from home. I'm in Northern Virginia. Cacia is based in Iowa, and I'm going out to Iowa next week, which I'm really excited about. But I work from home, so I spend 90% of my day, when I'm not driving my kids to and from preschool, in my home. And while there are a lot of benefits to that and a lot of things I enjoy about working from home, sometimes it can be really hard to separate my workspace from my living space. And one of the ways that I try to do that is the ambiance that I create with essential oils. So when I'm in my office, this is not my office. This is my favorite room of the house. This is really my little corner of sanctuary in the house. You guys can't see what's over here. You know what? just for fun, I'm gonna tip this and show you. I've got all my plant babies over there. My name is Betsy and I'm a houseplant addict. I love my houseplants. So this space where we have our dining room table, I have all my tea things back here, my brewing station with my diffuser. This is the space where I feel most peaceful when I'm doing just my own blending with essential oils to make what I want. When I want inspiration, this is my space. And I try not to do a lot of work in this space, because a lot of like computer work, because this is where I want to be peaceful. I want to sit here and drink my tea or my coffee and not think about the emails that I need to do. So when I use this sandalwood and lemon diffusion, this is part of my ritual around creating this almost like force field of tranquility, where I'm not seeing the toys scattered across the floor or the dishes in the sink or hearing the pinging of emails on my computer. Like, this is where I can just be. And the essential oils in this blend, we've got sandalwood, vetiver, and lemon, and I'll talk about the drops in just a moment. But those essential oils, the sandalwood, the vetiver, and the lemon, they very much embody that idea of just being. And that's very important to me for this space. In my workspace, where I go when I'm on my computer, I'm usually diffusing things that promote like my mental cognitive function, like rosemary and bergamot are two of my favorite things to diffuse when I'm trying to focus and work. They get me, they get my brain, my synapses firing. But when I'm sitting here in my living space, this is where I want this feeling of peace and joy and grounding and uplifting. When I have friends over for tea, or even, a client, sometimes I see my clients here on the weekends, and I'll diffuse this for creating that that sense of grounding and peacefulness. So the recipe is 8 drops of sandalwood essential oil. One thing that's important is making sure you're getting the sandalwood essential oil that has the green strip down the side. That means it's just the sandalwood essential oil. We also have a bottle of essential oil that has of sandalwood that has a yellow strip down the side, and that is sandalwood already diluted in jojoba. It would look like this bottle. This is Roman chamomile, but it would have that yellow strip. So the bottles of essential oil with the yellow strip, this is our in jojoba line. And what that means is these essential oils are already diluted in jojoba, so they can actually go on your skin right out of the bottle. Anything with the green strip down the side cannot go on your skin right out of the bottle because it's not diluted in jojoba. The reason I recommend this one with the green strip for the diffusion recipe is that carrier oils like jojoba, they can gunk up the diffuser. So I don't recommend using them frequently in the diffuser. Once here and there is okay, but whenever possible, use the green label essential oils in your diffuser. So we have 8 drops of sandalwood. Sandalwood is just like, we always put these individual words on the bottle that are what this essential oil embodies. And sandalwood is centering, right? It's meditative, it's grounding, it's what brings our mind and our spirit back home. And that's kind of the vibe that I like creating in my living space for this. Just, again, this is like, I'm putting my force field up, I'm keeping the world out, and I want this to be my center of tranquility. And that's really how I think of sandalwood. Vetiver, we do 5 drops of vetiver in this recipe. And vetiver is an oil that I've had like a love-hate relationship with, in that it's not for the faint of heart. Vetiver is a very strong, earthy, musky aroma. It's a base oil, just a base note, I should say, just like sandalwood. And about 4 or 5 years ago, I broke a bottle of vetiver essential oil in my car in the summer. So my entire car just reeked of like hot, sticky vetiver essential oil. And I was done. Like, I thought I would never be able to tolerate vetiver again. And over the last year or so, I've started like reincorporating it into my diffusion blends, into my room sprays. and I'm starting to find my love of vetiver again. It's very, we have the word quieting on the bottle because it's very calming to the mind. It's especially for when I'm having one of those days where like I cannot get my brain to shut off, I go to vetiver. It really helps me just get out of my head and back into my body. And when I'm trying to separate spaces in my home, especially because I work from home, um, when I leave my workspace, I try to literally leave it mentally, not just physically. Like I literally get up from my desk and I visualize putting my work energy away for the day. Because I take very seriously this idea of separating my work life and my home life, especially around my children. You know, my children deserve my full attention and not being split mentally between work and parenting. So vetiver is part of that ritual for me, that when I'm working and I'm diffusing my rosemary and my bergamot to get my brain going, when I'm done with work and I need that to go away, I switch to my vetiver and my sandalwood to really quiet my mind and help me mentally shift from work to rest. And one of the things that I love most about essential oils in general is that they have the ability to reinforce behavior. And what I mean by that is an essential oil isn't just going to magically shut off my thinking or magically, you know, produce this profound change in my being. But what they can do is when in the presence of essential oil, we start a new practice or a new ritual. And we either, you know, we have a meditation or a mantra or any practice that we engage in over and over. When we're in the presence of an essential oil, it helps us recall that behavior and that feeling. So it's like literally a memory recall. So by practicing that, I'm putting my work away and I'm leaving that space. And now I'm entering a space where I can smell vetiver. Now, just by diffusing vetiver, it gets my brain to make that shift automatically, whereas it didn't before. So essential oils reinforce this behavior or feeling we're trying to cultivate around our airspace. And then the last essential oil in the blend is lemon. And lemon is just, it's uplifting. It's all citruses are uplifting and cheerful. Like I've never smelled a citrus and been like, ugh, gross, I'm unhappy. Citruses are just the sparkly essential oils. And lemon really helps complement the heavy resinous base note aromas of sandalwood and vetiver. When we smell an essential oil blend, the citruses, the top notes, are the first thing that comes to our brain center. Like when we are inhaling those volatile oils, they are the most volatile, we inhale them first. So the lemon really adds like a crisp and joyful experience when we first smell it. And then it's followed by that peaceful grounding nature of the sandalwood and the vetiver together. The other room in my home where I use lemon probably more than any other essential oil. And if you tuned into our Facebook Live last month, because lemon was the oil of the month for March, I talked about using lemon, especially in my kitchen, to get like grease stains off the counter. It's also I like to think of it as like my cheating essential oil when it comes to cleaning, because even if my kitchen or my home in general is not clean, if I diffuse essential oil or diffuse lemon essential oil or spray lemon essential oil around the kitchen, it feels clean because it smells clean like lemon. So that's another way we can like manipulate how we feel about a room or a space in our home simply by introducing an aroma. And like, so if my mother or my mother-in-law are coming over for breakfast, I make sure that I'm diffusing something with lemon in it because it literally makes my home feel cleaner, and I can just shove everything in the closet and pretend it's not there. And that I really did clean, even if I didn't. And it seems so sparkly and clean. So this is our sandalwood lemon diffusion. And again, it's one of my favorites for the main living space where you really want to create that that vibe of just, it's time to let our guard down and be safe and comfortable and happy in our home. Our next recipe, we're going to make a mist. So this is one of my top mists that I keep in particular in the bathrooms. So I have two little boys. They are 4.5 and almost 2. My littlest will be 2 at the end of this month. And potty training is so much fun with little boys. They're doing their best to make everything into the bathroom, into the potty. It doesn't always happen. So when I'm in this stage of having 2 little boys and their lovely aromas and scents everywhere, having something very aromatic, if you will, like blood orange and clove, to keep the bathroom feeling clean is really like it almost like helps me with my mental load, my overwhelm of like, it's another room I have to keep clean. So I'm actually teaching my 4.5-year-old to spray this in the bathroom before and after he goes, as a way to kind of like reinforce, like, we have to be clean. So this is our blood orange and clove mist. It's very easy to make. If you don't have blood orange, you can easily substitute mandarin orange, even sweet orange. Any of the oranges go wonderfully with clove. But blood orange is just so, it's like, it's very exotic compared to sweet orange. Sweet orange is like happy and sparkly, and blood orange adds a little bit of that exotic note to it, which is why I think it goes so well with clove. So to make this mist, all we do is 12 drops of our blood orange. And you can see how, I think I got 13 in there. You can see how fast the blood orange comes out of the bottle. Essential oils that are top notes, like citruses, tend to be much thinner in consistency than something like a vetiver, which comes out so slow. I'll just show you guys how slow the vetiver comes out. I'm just going to do 1 drop into the bottle or into the cap. I mean, you can see, like, I'm holding this upside down, tapping the bottom. Vetiver is thick. There we go. See how long it took that 1 drop to come out? I would have gotten like 50 sweet orange drops. So if you notice that it takes different amounts of time for the essential oils to come out of the bottle, that's true. And there's a reason for it. And it's because of the viscosity of the oil. So blood orange comes out so fast. So we do 12 drops of our blood orange. And then clove is, it's just comforting. Like, clove reminds me of fall and like fall into winter and baking and like gingerbread men and the snow we didn't get this winter. I'm so bummed we didn't get any snow, but it's just, it's comforting. Like, if an essential oil could be a hug, clove. So we do 12 drops of clove, and you'll see this one comes out much more slowly. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Excellent. And the reason clove is so important in this recipe, so the blend of a citrus and a spice is very intentional for my use as in particular, an odor masking spray in the bathrooms. The reason for that is, again, top notes like citrus, you smell quickly. So if you spray a citrus in a room that typically has less than ideal odors, the citrus is actually the thing your nose is going to pick up first, as opposed to a less than enjoyable odor. The clove is what really helps mask or combat the bad odors. So they work in partnership together. The spice base note and or I should say middle note, clove's more middle. The spice note and the citrus note work together to give your nose something to focus on and actually help deal with any of the negative aromas in an airspace. So this is one of my favorite sprays just to keep on the counter in the bathroom, and I'll actually spray it on we have like the little mat that goes around the base of the toilet that I just can't wash 50 times a day as much as I would want to. So I spray it on that to help deal with little boy aromas. And it's just so nice. And my 4.5-year-old loves it. He calls it his clean spray, and just makes me happy to smell it. One important thing to know is essential oils never mix with water. So you always have to shake it really well before you spray. The first thing that my nose is picking up on is just that lovely mandarin orange sparkly note. And then now I'm getting more of that lingering, earthy, spicy clove. So this is just it's not limited to the bathroom. You can put it anywhere in your home that you want to create that that comforting, relaxed feel. You can also do it as a diffusion. You would just reduce the number of drops. So instead of 12 and 12 for a diffusion, I would do 6 and 6 in your diffuser. And then whatever diffuser you have, you just operate it according to the diffuser instructions. And then our last recipe for the evening is the third place in my home that I really am intentional about creating an airspace or a vibe is my bedroom. My oldest, I feel like I talk about my kids a lot, but that's just the phase that I'm, the phase of life that I'm in. My oldest did not sleep through the night until he was 2. He was up every couple of hours all night for the first 2 years of his life. So my sleep was very dysregulated. And even though he did start sleeping better, and that gave me the space to start sleeping better, my body was basically trained to sleep lightly and wake up every couple of hours after that point. So I had to put a lot of work into retraining my sleep response and retraining my ability to sleep well at night. So I am a huge proponent of sleep hygiene, meaning that normally I won't be anywhere near a screen within the 1 to 2 hours before bed. I start dimming the lights in the home. I'm not drinking caffeine after a certain time in the afternoon. And all of these behaviors are conducive to helping me have a more restful night. And this is again where essential oils tie in around behavior and practice. That when I diffuse certain essential oils or I spray certain essential oils around bedtime, that's a signal to my brain that it's supposed to be winding down and getting ready for rest. So after, a couple of years of really working to retrain myself, I'm now sleeping better through the night. Obviously, we all have bad nights here and there, but for the most part, my nights have gotten so much better because of these practices. And essential oils are such a big part of that for me. Before the pandemic, Elena and I both traveled a lot for Oracacia. We would go to different locations around the country and teach classes and teach the retail workers at stores that carry the Oracacia products about the essential oils so that they could better educate consumers. And whenever I was traveling, I wouldn't sleep very well because I don't sleep well outside of my own room and space. So I always carried my essential oil blend with me to spray on the pillows in the hotel and really help my brain kind of recognize, oh, okay, now this is time for going to bed. This is time for sleep. So this is a really easy recipe. We have lavender, geranium, and sweet orange. So we're going to do 12 drops of lavender. Lavender, I feel like we're all familiar with lavender. It's a really good example, though, of making sure you're getting the right essential oil. So we carry 3 different lavenders at Oracacia. We have as well as a lavender blend, but we have our Lavandula angustifolia, which is true lavender. If we want the deep relaxation effects of lavender, this is what we want. We also have spike lavender, which is Lavandula latifolia, and that one is much higher in camphor. So it's more stimulating. It's the one that I like to use in cleaning products or carpet powders, that it still has that lavender aroma, but because it has a higher camphor content, it's not as relaxing as true lavender, the angustifolia. And then we have our lavandin, which is if lavender and spike lavender had a little love baby, lavandin. It's a hybrid species of the two. And that also has a higher camphor content. So if we want an essential oil, a lavender oil to diffuse around bedtime, we need to make sure that we're getting the lavandula angustifolia. So always make sure you're looking at the bottle if you're buying a different company to make sure that you're getting angustifolia. So we do 12 drops of this one. Okay. Then our next one is geranium. Geranium is a middle note, but it's very earthy. It's much more towards like the base note spectrum of middle notes than something that's much more floral. But it's very, again, like similar to clove, that it's very comforting. We have balancing on the label, but we could just as easily put comforting. It really helps with emotional stability and relaxation. So it's such a great one around bedtime to, again, start shifting our behavior and our brain state towards rest. So we do 6 drops of this one. All right. And then lastly, our wonderfully uplifting and cheering sweet orange. We're doing 6 drops. And even though we say uplifting, that doesn't necessarily mean energizing, right? There's a difference between something that is uplifting to the spirit and energizing to the mind and the body. Sweet orange is cheering, it's uplifting, but it's also just like wonderfully peaceful and calming. So it's not something that you need to be worried about using before bed because it's not going to suddenly wake you up and, you know, get you ready to go. For me, it's very like, takes the edge off. So we do 6 drops of that. And then again, because essential oils and water don't mix, we always shake it up and before we're going to spray. And I like to spray this on my pillow, on my sheets, on my comforter. Sometimes I'll even spray it on my pajamas before I put them on or after I put them on. And it's very like it, because I associate it with my sleep hygiene practices. When I smell that, I'm like, okay, it's time to go to bed, right? Which for me, like staying up until 9 o'clock East Coast time is like, because I'm usually in bed early to take advantage of as much rest as I can. My kiddos are up super early. We do have an alternative for the nighttime pillow spray, which is we have a blend that is called Pillow Potion, which means it's already formulated to be like a pillow spray or a diffusion in your bedroom at night. And it's a blend of some of the oils that we did do tonight. So the Lavandula angustifolia, the true lavender, sweet orange, but it also has hops. Hops is my favorite botanical name. Because it sounds like a spell out of Harry Potter. The botanical name or the Latin binomial for hops is Humulus lupulus. And I feel like that's just a spell waiting to happen. Patchouli, yarrow, and German chamomile. So this is what I take with me when I travel to help me sleep better in the hotel room. This is like, this is my favorite of our blends that we carry. I don't know what I would do without this blend. So this one you can use in a couple of ways. You can make a mist similar to the one that I just showed you how to make to do a pillow spray or, you know, sheet spray, however you want to use it in your bedroom. So you would do 24 drops of Pillow Potion to 2 ounces of water in a mist bottle. You can even just put a couple of drops right onto your bed sheets and use it that way. You will notice that the oil, this is not one that's supposed to go on your skin right out of the bottle. So to be safe, I'm just going to put it on a paper towel, but to show you, the oil is going to be this gorgeous blue color, blue-green. The reason for that is the yarrow and the German chamomile have a constituent in them called chamazoline. And chamazoline is blue. It turns blue when you distill the essential oil. So that's why this essential oil, none of the others except for the actual German chamomile essential oil that we sell, none of the other oils are going to have that beautiful, rich, like royal blue color. And it's because of the German chamomile and the yarrow in here. They have that chamazoline. So when I travel, I usually take it in two forms. I'll make a mist, but sometimes I worry about like, a bottle leaking or just not having enough space in my carry-on. So I'll actually make a roll-on, and I still do apply this most nights before bed. So for the roll-on, you're going to have an empty roll-on bottle, and you're going to do 5 drops of pillow potion. And we're going to fill the roll-on bottle up with a carrier oil of choice. I grabbed jojoba just because I use jojoba a lot, so I have a lot of it. I think it's amazing. And we fill the roll-on up with jojoba. Replace our roller ball cap. Give it a good shake. And then to use it, I apply it to my temples, behind my ears, and I'll even do a little roll just under my nose. And then like I'm ready for bed. It's just so like, it just helps me feel like I'm sinking deeply into my pillow and my bed. And I definitely like, it's charging right now, but I usually wear a Fitbit at night. And it's like the nights that I don't do my sleep hygiene practices and I don't either diffuse my essential oils or use my roll-on or use my pillow spray, I literally don't get as good quality sleep. I don't get as much time in REM sleep. I don't get as much deep sleep according to my Fitbit. And it's the nights that either I just forget or I've run out of my essential oils somehow. The data on my Fitbit shows those nights I am not getting as good quality sleep. So I think that's pretty compelling, at least for my personal experience. So I hope you enjoyed these recipes this evening. We have a couple of other fun things coming up. Our next class is going to be for Mother's Day, and we're doing that with Elena. That's going to be on Thursday, May 11th at 7:30 Central. So we'll be making some products that are oriented towards Mother's Day and just giving some love to the women in our life who fill that role of mother or caregiver. We are also doing our Facebook Lives the first and the third Wednesday of every month. Next week, we're going to be doing it on Tuesday because I'll be traveling to Iowa to go to Frontier, to go to Aromatherapy on Wednesday. So next Tuesday, I'll be doing Facebook Live to talk about our oil of the month, which is Roman chamomile. And that'll be around the lunch hour. So 1 p.m. my time, 12 p.m. Central for our Facebook Live. And again, my name is Betsy. So I really enjoyed having you all here this evening. We look forward to seeing you again next month. And I hope you all have a wonderful evening.